Okay, I'm going to use the Tarot and the Lenormand, and we're going to look at what can you tell us, universe, an elevated message, something of positivity. So we need to balance some of this dark drama, especially with the fact that Trump is doing all he can to bankrupt America, leave us with nothing, take a powder. Okay. So that we have to dig ourselves out of a hole that the Republicans can then blame the Democrats for. Yeah. So what have you got to tell us? So let's see what the reading is about. It is about, okay, yeah. Those that have been outside of the thing are going towards the light. Now in the other decks you see them wounded and just bypassing spirituality. In this deck, the positivity is they are going towards the light. Okay. They're seeing the need for the spirituality. Okay. So that's a good thing. Going towards the light. Going towards more elevated spirituality. I'm not talking about dogmatism and all of that drama. I'm talking about genuine spirituality. Okay. So the energy coming into it is seeing what's going on from the dark side. Okay. Recognizing the need for the spiritual aspects and looking at what people have been chained by. This is about a message coming in with the foundation of what's blossoming, what's blooming now, what's coming in. And this is that recognition of the dark side and this reawakening of spirituality. So what's going on now today? Yeah. Now, again, in this deck, this is very different. Instead of feeling pushed to the edge and trying to defend, in this case, looking for the strength, okay? Gathering strength from above, okay? So, gathering more strength when it comes to dealing with the dark side. The challenge is our long term, going forward concretely for the long term. Let's see what we have above it. Above it, yeah, it's about abundance. Abundance, gathering strength, preparing for the long term. When it comes to the White House, or it comes to also the abundance in your own household, your own, where you live, how you live. When I see the house also, for me, it represents your whole life force, what you're living, okay? What you're surrounding yourself with. So let's see, potential outcome is bringing things from the past, but making it in a better way, looking at the past, okay? Outside influence is about having construct, controlling, and holding on to the assets. This is the ground, say. So concretely, the things going on concretely, the things going on in daily life, getting a handle on that, okay? The daily happenings, dealing with the past again in something new. something new, dealing with the past, being at the crossroads. So looking at the past, getting a handle on it, going towards more spirituality, looking for more strength, bringing in more strength into yourself for the long term, for an abundance, okay, of where you live, what's flowering where you live at a crossroads, and it's up to us what we do. The message of abundance, new things coming in, again, going towards the light when dealing with the dark side and the drama, the things that have kept people chained for so long, gaining strength from above for the long term, looking at the past, and then making those changes concretely that we can going forward. So let's see what's driving the reading. Let's turn these over. It's women or the feminine side, what's being held to, okay? The concrete things we are holding on to about taking control of your energy, the actions, and looking at the cross, the sacrifices, the difficult times. When it comes to the difficult times that we have to control the actions, okay? So where this is moving to, it's about your life, the life that you're living, the whole of your lifestyle. Things are moving. We have the Knight of Wands. So yes, energy is moving. Page of Swords. Now this is again getting wisdom, looking to the light, and making a marriage with that. So bonding yourself with the light, with the higher dimensions. We see what's overflowing in the cup. Now, when it's the things in the negativity that are coming, being willing to cut through that. Okay. The Judgment. Looking at some of the judgment that's taking place, some of the darker judgments that may be out there, because we have this toxicity, and about the toxicity, that the information about all the toxicity and things that's out there is coming down. We're gaining more information about the world dynamic, wanting to anchor in truth, coming forward with truth and anchoring that in, making friends with what's being handed out, what we're working on. So this could also be, going forward and giving what you can give in whatever way possible. It doesn't always mean money, monetary, but again, that aspect of being friends and giving what you can give. Coming to an end with some of the struggles that are going on, energetic struggles, and looking at, again, the Death card, this ending, transformations of some of these more difficult mountain things that are coming up. There is going to be an end to some of that. Knowledge about what's being built, what we're doing on a concrete level. Having more control when it comes to the mental and physical pain. The lid is off when it comes to government. And we are going to be looking to something more positive coming up. And I keep with this thing, I just get that open. Every time this card comes up, I just feel this explosion in the heart center that's going to take place. Okay. Light on the difficulties, okay? Light on the concerns, the difficulties, etc., okay? So that's what I see coming up in the positivity, that we're going more towards the light, and the message is for abundance, new, what we can do with that. And again, it doesn't always necessarily mean monetary. The foundation, what's blossoming. When it comes to your home life, what's going on at a crossroads. This is also my card, for the White House, what's going on. Going towards the light, seeking the sustenance in your spirituality, understanding the dark side, what has had people chained, seeking that, pulling in that energy so you're ready for the long term, and looking at the past and the concrete ramifications of that, and the things that we see from the past that we understand has taken place, that we can look and see what we are going to change. Okay, the things from the past that we need to get a handle on and make rapid changes with. So, how can we best deal with government? The Lovers. We need to come together, okay? The Star, bring in the higher awareness. When it comes to dealing with government, look for the elevated that we can do and bring in something new, concrete, okay? So we need to come together as people, okay? Bring in the higher dynamics, something concrete when it comes to dealing with government. Now, I had somebody today that says, well, why are we the ones that have to elevate? Why can't they do it? Because they don't choose to. Okay? Now, if you don't want to elevate, you have the free will to not. But it's definitely more beneficial to be on the side of elevation and looking at having compassion and moving in a higher direction. But you're not forced to. If you want to follow the path of shadows and dark and ego, you can do that. Anger, you can do that. But it doesn't make you happy? No. Does it ever fill some hole? No, it doesn't. So I would say you're much better off to go the path of elevating. Again, pulling in that energy, pulling that energy down, bringing it into manifestation, going towards genuine spirituality, going towards the light, seeing that's being offered, that doorway is open, okay? Rather than passing it by wounded and saying, I have no connection. Well, if you want a connection, it's always there because it is part and parcel of your being. If you're willing to let go of the negativity, if you're willing to let go of the anger, if you're willing to move forward into more light, more forgiveness, more elevated understanding, okay? You will feel much lighter, much better than if you were hiding and being driven by fear, retribution, hate mongering, etc. Okay? Now, the one thing I'm disappointed with when I hear people that always are saying, I want retribution, I want retribution, I want to see him suffer, I want to see them suffer, and, because that's just keeping that anger going. Okay? We want to see them, yes, we would love to see them elevate. Okay? We want to see them come to a point of understanding, a point of, but you know, that may take a number of lifetimes for that. Okay? Sometimes the dark side has to, you know, they're going to go their way until they finally get really knocked down to where they can't move, and the only direction they can go is to start looking upwards. Okay? But that's up to the universe to put that into play. It's not up to us to do that. So anyway, on that note, I will leave that here, and we'll see you online.